morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 18th video, dropping today, Friday, May 22nd. Before the student learning goal and pull of the day today, however, just a few important reminders. We are picking up the pace to finish our books on time. That means shorter videos with less explanation and more time to read. Zoom meetings will be held today. English 12 has a meeting at 12 o'clock noon, while English 10 has a meeting at 2 p.m. For any of Mrs. Fortuna's Algebra 2 students, I'll hold a short second Zoom at 3 p.m. Be on the lookout for announcements from Mr. Crook and from Mr. Reynolds for the days that you need to drop off school supplies and pick up yearbooks if you ordered one. Also, next week's Monday video will be on Tuesday instead due to Memorial Day, so plan accordingly. And of course, the final 4-paragraph essay is due June 5th. None will be accepted after that date. That is 2 weeks from today. For the results of our previous poll of the day, of those students who actually saw Tiger King, a majority of the votes said that it was bad. For today's poll of the day question, how are you doing with home learning? Would you prefer home learning or regular school learning? For the student learning goal Friday of 5/22, I can prepare for the final 4-paragraph essay, due June 5th. So when we left off in the reading in the Glass Castle, Jeanette finally had a job of her own and in so many ways had grown into an independent young woman. She had argued with her sister about what makes a woman strong, and while unable to do so at first, Jeanette believed that part of being strong meant being able to stand up to her father and, subsequently, her mother. Today we are reading pages 222 to 241 and the conclusion of Jeanette's time in Welsh before living in New York. Pause the video in a few moments to read. Remember that you have the audio files in OneNote as well. And welcome back to the video, ladies and gentlemen. Jeanette's plans to leave the family as soon as she could grew into a sort of family project. With encouragement from a couple of New York filmmakers, Lori planned to move there right after graduating. Then Jeanette would follow her in a year and Brian soon after that. The plans slowly started building into a bit of a reality. However, once again, Rex Walls becomes the architect of the destruction of some happy plans that Jeanette and her siblings made by stealing their escape fund for drinking money. A separate opportunity popped up for Jeanette, however she ended up passing it along to Lori, who then was ultimately, with this stroke of luck, able to make it to New York City after all. It's worth noting again then, how much the Walls children watch out for each other when their parents can't or won't do it for them. Also, if any of you, my students from 2020, understood all the Wizard of Oz references, what with the bank named Oz and with the mentions of the Emerald City being New York, then kudos to you. So Jeanette stayed in Welsh and grew through a few more years at her high school, working in the school newspaper and eventually gaining more levels of responsibility, becoming the editor-in-chief. Due to the guidance from none other than a guidance counselor, Jeanette discovers that she can get a discount on New York City colleges by being a New York resident and student. So she decides to leave at the end of her junior year. Based on her parents' differing reactions, I truly believe that this was for the best for Jeanette. How cold was it when her mother wouldn't even send her off? Contrast that now against her father's sad and desperate promise to build her the glass castle if she decided to stay. But Jeanette is an intelligent young woman now, who cannot be swayed by such empty promises. As one of my many astute students pointed out way back at the beginning of our time with this memoir, she sees right through the lies of this glass castle now. Well, at least Rex cared enough to see his daughter off though and bring her to the bus station. He even gives her a pocket knife as a sort of parting gift. Notice this, my seniors, too. Depending on what all of your college plans are, SUNY schools, or state universities of New York, really do have discounted prices for people who are in-state residents. This is true of any state in the country. In-state residents get a better price than people who come in from out of state. Take advantage of some of the many amazing educational opportunities that SUNY schools provide you as a state resident. And so Jeanette finally gains a level of independence, leaving her family behind. This brings us one step closer to the Jeanette that we all met at the very beginning of the opening chapter, titled A Woman on the Street, found an adult Jeanette who spied her mother digging through the trash on a street in New York. We know that Jeanette is someday destined to gain that Fifth Avenue apartment. But she's not there just yet. No discussion questions to answer in OneNote today, as the reading was slightly longer these last couple of days. I would rather you spend that time on your article analysis number 16 due today. Also remember that we have a Zoom meeting today at noon. You really should be watching this video before that Zoom, so I'm really looking forward to seeing all of my students again. And remember, your final writing prompt for the 4-paragraph essay is due no later than June 5th. The duality of the memoir allows you to hate Rex and Rosemary with a passion, yet still have a soft spot in your heart for them. In a 4-paragraph extended response, identify examples of negative parenting and the effects that it had on the children, and contrast that with examples of positive traits that the parents provided their children with. Write an introduction to your essay, use the claim EIEIO format for both body paragraphs, and finish your essay with a conclusion that wraps up your ideas. You may email your final papers to me as attachments any time between now and June 5th, but none will be taken afterwards. So that is it for this week, everybody. You should be watching this video before joining the afternoon Zoom, so I guess it's not it for the entire week yet, but I'm so looking forward to seeing you all very shortly, and I'll see you then.